Hey, my baby bees, it's your girl B, and welcome back to Celebrity Truth or Dare. Today, we're counting down the top 10 truth confessions we've had on the show so far. Oh, and today, we've got it all. We got everything from drunk disasters, guilty pleasures, and Hollywood pettiness. So sit back, relax, because you worked too hard not to. Grab yourself a snack and enjoy the show. Coming in at number 10, we're starting with pure chaos. Here's Taylor Owen with the now iconic Grand Central Clam Slam confession.
The thing that's coming to my mind is this one night out in New York City. So it was out in New York City. And it was like back in the day, and I was with one of my best friends. We were visiting a New York City friend. It was just like one of those nights, you know, we were having fireball shots, which never ends well.
Yikes.
Love it.
It just never ends well. Like fireball, it's never good. I mean, it's good, but I was like puking and rallying. It was just, it was one of those nights, right?
Yeah.
So
Puking and rallying? Okay.
yeah, it's called like a boot and rally.
No, I got
Puke
you.
and rally. I guess you've just never done it. But so I got really drunk. I woke up the next morning and my mom was like, no matter what, you have to get the train back to Connecticut in time for this baby shower we're going to. And when your Italian mother says you have to get back in time, you are going to get back in time.
Yeah.
So I wake up with the fear of God inside of me. I'm already late. I try to call a cab. We're not in an area where you can just like walk outside and get a cab. I didn't know that. So we call a cab 20 minutes away. I'm so nauseous. I'm so hungover. We walk into Grand Central Station, which is an awful place to be hungover, by the way. And I lock eyes with this guy. He's this like big burly guy with like a bun, and he had rollerblades slung over his shoulder, just to paint you a picture.
Such a look.
And when I locked eyes with him, he had a look in his eyes of like, you wronged me in a past life. And I was like, okay, that's weird. As I'm walking towards him, he winds up and he punches me right in the vagina.
No.
Total clam slam. Like,
Oh.
right? Yeah,
Oh
total
my
clam
God.
slam. I am like, obviously stunned. I turn around to be like, what was that? He flips me off. So I don't know what I did to him in a past life.
Stop.
And then my best friend laughs so hard, she pees her pants in Grand Central. I'm not lying.
She really did?
She really did. And then I went to the bathroom, puked because I was so hungover, and we missed our train.
Oh my God. So there was
Yeah.
like no lead up to that. He just like stared at you,
No.
looked at you, locked eyes.
Locked
and, like,
eyes,
boom.
and boom. And I was like, I felt it coming, but I didn't think that was gonna happen.
No. You're just expecting him to just be like, you.
Yeah,
Like you're never
something.
expecting
I
he's
was
gonna
like,
like
it's
wind
New
up and
York.
like, yeah.
Yeah, no, right? Clam slam. Just
Clam
slammed in.
slam.
Clam slammed in Grand Central, baby.
Oh my God.
So, yeah.
Did you make the baby shower?
I did. I was late, and
alright.
Kiki was mad, but I made it.
But you made it.
But I
You
made it. You know, better late than never is what they say.
And that's how you start a countdown. Painful, unhinged, and unfortunately, very visual. At number 9, Luenell admits her guilty pleasure with zero hesitation. Secret guilty pleasure. Get a secret guilty pleasure?
Ooh, a secret guilty pleasure. If I tell you, it won't be a secret no
Okay,
more.
do you have a guilty pleasure?
Yeah. Young men.
Oh, no,
That's my guilty pleasure.
Wait, how young? Are you talking like 26, 22?
Not, well,
Is that a little too young? Is that giving like
too
boy?
young for what? Conversation? Too young to go eat with? Too young to sleep with? What are we talking about here?
I guess I want to
I'm not trying to catch a case or nothing. but no, that's my guilty pleasure. I really, really enjoy. I think they enjoy my company, which makes me enjoy their company. If they're fun, if they're intelligent, you know, and I don't like no, you know, boy, but you know, there's some nice young men out there
Yeah.
that are nice.
Ooh, I love that for you.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see you with a young whippersnapper.
Me too.
Yeah. And you know what? I respect a woman who says it with her full chest. At number 8, Nate Jackson admitted something that people in entertainment probably think about a lot, but would never dare say out loud, especially on camera. Who's one celebrity you've privately talked trash about?
The guy that plays Paperboy on Atlanta.
Who is that?
He's just another big black guy actor. And I'd be, huh? Brian Tyree Henry, bless his heart. But I want all them roles.
Oh, because he's like your competition.
As
He
far
looks
as I
too
see it,
close to
everything
you.
he's in, I'm like, that could have been me. That could have been me.
Yeah.
That could have been me.
That's like the
You know what I
acting
mean?
dilemma.
And maybe we'll
sometimes.
get something together, and I'll be like, when back in the day, I used to want all the roles. But for now, I'm like, what about me though?
Maybe he's looking at you going like, where's my Netflix special?
Well, he better start telling jokes.
And you're like, you better show up
Right.
or go out.
I feel like I can do what he does, but he can't do what I can do. And that's the extent of me talking shit about him.
Okay.
Good actor though. I like everything he's been in. I'm like, that's why I'd be like, God,
You're like, God damn.
He's good.
Yeah.
Great. It's
Too
great.
good. Too good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like make you squint. Like, why you like this?
Isn't like envy in the Bible? It's a sin. You're not supposed to be jealous of thy neighbor.
I mean, there's quite a few sins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that you might have to work on.
I'm not jealous.
Oh, you're not jealous. You're just
No, I'm like, he did great.
okay. So it's coming from a neutral point of view.
Yeah.
Of, that should have been me.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I want all the roles. I think that's fair. I think anybody that plays a sport and isn't starting is on the sideline like, God, I want to get in. That could be me. That could be me. But I don't want to cause him any harm. I just see the roles. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I'm just now getting into the territory where I may see something that he actually, we might be auditioning for the same thing now. Otherwise, I'll just sit back and watch him just like everybody else is watching.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So it's Brian what? Okay.
Reggie's pulling him up.
Yeah. Well,
Damn.
yeah. Got it. Well, you're doing good work, Brian Tyree Henry.
Maybe I'm gonna get him on the show. Or maybe I can get you both on the show. You guys can talk it out.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well, I told you I'm down to do something together. So
You see that right there? That's a real confession. Not media trained, not polished, just honest. At number 7, here's Cosmo with a truth that is both bold, personal, and powerful.
So I moved out here. I moved to LA. I'm going to do my testimony. Where's my robe? Oh, I have it on. Okay. So I moved to LA and I'm a hairdresser. And I lived in the Valley next to Michael Jackson, and everything was oh so fabulous. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
My father gave us a life here that we didn't have in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So he worked in the Palm restaurant. So it was like really good money. And we were like, living like, we moved on up like the Jeffersons. Okay. Long story short, so I'm doing haircuts and my cousin goes, I'm going to make you meet this lady. Her husband's a movie producer, has a lot of money.
Wow.
And they live in Granada Hills. And you're going to go over and do their hair. I'm like, oh, I'm excited, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I walk in and I see this little lady, tiny, tiny, tiny. She goes, I'm doing her hair, and we're talking, and she's like, I think my husband, she goes, I'm engaged to be married. And I'm like, wow, congratulations. That's great. She goes, but I think my husband's gay. So why are you telling me this? Because the hairdresser knows it all, right? So I'm like, you think he's gay? Why do you think he's gay? She goes, because he's into, can I say it?
Go for it.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. She goes, he's into fisting. And I'm like, he's into fisting? Like, what? She goes, yeah, we get high and he wants me to fist him.
Oh my God.
She goes, so I think he's gay. So I'm like, I would think so. Like, there's something there.
Yeah.
Before you get married, I would definitely investigate, girl. So anyway, she goes, could you come over, tonight?
And just see for yourself.
And just see, just feel the room and everything. She goes, because I don't know if I want to marry him, but I'm really in love with him and he's really gorgeous. I'm like, okay. She goes, there's going to be cocaine there. So I'm like, okay, I'm there. Because I was like a cocaine addict. We all were in the 80s, right? Go to the house and I walk in and there's an 8-ball on the table. And then I see him in the bed with these 2 mirrors. Right? And I just see this gorgeous, gorgeous, hot man in the bed. And she goes, come in, let's talk. She made me a drink and, we're talking, kikiing and everything. Anyway, we got into a situation, girl. So it wasn't pretty. But as long as there was cocaine on the table, I would have kind of did anything because
Yeah.
the party, I go wherever the party is. And I went along to get along. And then it just ended up very tragically. She ended up hysterical crying. Yeah. And she's like, now I'm sure there's something wrong with him.
God.
I said, you needed me for that? You know what I mean? Like, everybody, like, to each his own. Your fetish is your fetish.
Yeah.
But that was a little bit too much. And like, she wanted to have that. Seems to me like she wanted to have that little white picket fence. And like, I was like, girl, wrong road. Wrong road, period. So that was one of the things. I don't want to get into specifics, but it was pretty awful. So that's like, to answer your
The
question.
craziest night
freak
in
off.
LA. Yeah.
You could just imagine, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be specific. I mean, I don't mind being specific, but that's kind of enough information, right? You got the picture?
I got the picture. I
Okay.
think we got the picture.
Yeah, not
for
pretty.
sure.
Yeah.
And then kind of in a way, as tragic as it was, you liberated this woman from having potentially just like a lifetime being locked into
Yes.
something that wasn't right for her.
Right.
You know?
And like from a young age, like I always hung out with older people, you know what I mean? And they always come to me for like advice.
Yeah.
So like I do believe like I'm this empath and I just know like what's going on and I could just like solve a problem more for people than myself.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so it was kind of a gift I had at that age coming up, all from the Bible study, you know what I mean? Saying you can't be gay, you can't touch yourself, And I was like, wait, hold it right there. Like, the truth will set you free. Like, I'm gay and this is the way it is.
Yeah,
you know?
that is your truth.
Yeah. So from that table, it's just like, I just became, my father's like, where did you come from? You know what I mean? And like, he was proud in a way because I spoke up for myself because he was so afraid that I was going to be gay and abused and beat up, And that's why he told me he didn't want me to be gay when I was younger. He goes, because I know I worked in gay clubs growing up, my father, and he's like, I didn't want you to have that hard life.
Yeah, he's trying to protect you.
Yeah, but he goes, but you got balls like an elephant.
He's like, you can handle it.
You can handle it. Like, he was like proud of me at that point too. So I always have my father's back, thank God. Yeah.
That one hits because under the humor is just something that is so real. Knowing exactly who you are, not being afraid to embrace it before anyone can tell you otherwise. At number 6, Kaylin Allen opens up about a pandemic situationship that turned lonely, toxic, and way more complicated than it ever should have been. Have you ever had your heart broken?
Golly.
Get ready for the
That's
emotional roller
deep.
coaster.
Yes.
Was it your first heartbreak we want to talk about, or was it the one that hit the hardest? I think we should talk about that one. Walk us through.
I think, so here's the difficulty about it. So I always have I've been like chronically single, been on my own my entire life, right? So during the pandemic, I had a situation where I, chatted with somebody on like Twitter or responded to like a picture, and he responded back, like, oh, nice to meet you, blah, 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 blah. From then we start, having messages, talking.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets tricky. I think because this was the pandemic, I think both of us were in a very lonely and codependent kind of space. Considering the fact that we all had been thrown into this reality that felt like a fantasy.
Yeah.
To where now we walk outside and there's nobody out here.
Was it long distance?
No, we lived here in LA.
Okay.
So, but that was like when we didn't have access to anything else but each other.
Yeah.
So that's how we spend all our time. And so then and because I had never been in a relationship or even felt like someone was desiring me, I kind of bought into the fantasy of it while knowing that really wasn't what it was.
Was it sustainable and it was intense?
Yes, it was very intense. It was very up and down, a lot of roller coasters, a lot of like gaslighting and just like really narcissistic kind of behavior. And I think that then it kind of rewired me a little bit after that, because then I found out that, like, the whole time that we had been having any type of relations, he had a whole boyfriend the whole time.
Wait, was his boyfriend in LA too?
Yes, and was told to me that was the best friend.
So he was cheating on you, or he was
I don't
cheating
know if it's-
on his boyfriend with you
I
the
guess
entire
that
time.
would be
You
the
were like the other woman, and you didn't even know
It
it.
was me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how long did
A
this last
damsel
for?
in distress.
Yes.
Yes.
How long did this last for?
That was probably about 8 months. Literally, is part of the reason why I moved to New York. Ain't that
You were
crazy?
done
Because
with LA.
it was like there's a hold on me, and I gotta break free.
But you know what? It was probably good that you did that. 'Cause
It
you
did.
needed to cut
Yes.
that cord.
Yes,
go somewhere
I agree.
else for a bit.
And I think, especially growing up and feeling immense loneliness at times, I think I yearned for just to be able to feel like I had someone that I was willing to just accept the bare minimum for it, just to say that I could have it for a little bit. And I think that situation kind of broke that for me, to where I was no longer desperate for it. To now it's where it's like, if it happens, it happens. But if you don't fit, if you don't check the boxes, we're not doing this.
It has to be right, and you're not going to expect anything less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not to be taken advantage of, to the way that I'm loving you while you're disliking me.
So he was like your first love.
I would say so.
Kaylin, I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Oh, child.
But you know what? It's like these lessons that we carry with us. I mean, if you don't let it take you down, then you learned something from that. Is that as much as almost that sounds cold in a way, like you learned something. No, it's not about that, but it's about like the things that we carry with us through life when we go through these things. You learn something about yourself, and you learn something powerful that you can take for the rest of your life, that you don't have to rely on someone especially if it's not right.
Yeah.
If it's not rooted in honesty and loyalty and true love.
Yeah.
Why would you share space with someone that is there just to take and it's like it's like your own inner exploration that way.
Yeah, most definitely.
But now you know what you want. I remember before I met my husband, I went through a really bad breakup, and the relationship was all wrong. And this was my first love too, and I was fully taken advantage of in this situation, and I was cheated on, and I was heartbroken, and I was depressed, and I grew up very alone and by myself a lot too. And like I found someone, and I was like, and it was all rooted in all the wrong stuff. And I remember something switched in me, and I wrote down a list, and I was like, I got angry. It went from like sadness and depression to like anger, but a good type of anger where I was like, you know what? I don't deserve this. This is wrong. This is totally messed up. And I went and I wrote a list of the type of person I wanted in my life. And I used that to bring clarity into what type of person. Like, I want someone who doesn't keep me a secret. I want someone who is respectful and loves me no matter what I look like, if I got makeup on or not. I want someone who I can build a life with. That type of thing, right? And you use those moments as clarity to define what you do want. So when that person comes into your life, you know how to recognize them.
Yeah.
Because there's probably so many people that may have crossed through, and you're like, oh, they don't fit, and because you just don't know yourself yet. But now you know yourself more, and you can identify that person, and that's the beauty about it.
I'm gonna do that. I feel like people have told me that, and I've always been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm like,
no, there's a reason behind it. It's not just like I want like law of attraction, like, oh, I want this, that. Like, what it did for me was it was healing. It allowed me to see, to identify what was wrong and go, this is what needs to change. Okay. And you live by that list. It's like the 10 Commandments.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, real talk. Sometimes you want to go out, have fun, socialize, but you don't want the next day to feel like a total write-off. Now you can have fun and relax without all the regrets with Willy's THC-infused social tonic. For me, it's all about balance. I still want to unwind and hang out with friends, but just without the whole sluggish feeling the next day. It is a low-calorie, low-sugar alcohol alternative that actually works. Crafted by Willie Nelson and inspired by Willy's way of living, where peace flows freely and hangovers are a thing of the past. Willy's social tonics come in 5 milligram and 10 milligram doses with a best-in-class flavor experience. So smooth and balanced, you barely realize you're drinking a THC product at all. One shot of Willy's helps you relax, unwind, and de-stress. So whether unwinding down after a long, busy day or hanging out with friends, it's just an easy swap. Willy's sold out 3 times in the first 6 months, with over 50,000 plus happy customers, and they just restocked. Willy ships directly to your doorstep in 40 plus states. Order now at drinkwillys.com and use code DARE for 20% off your first order, plus free shipping on orders over $95. And enjoy life in the high country. At number 5, we've got Nate Jackson, and his story is so deeply humiliating, specific, and unfortunate that it feels almost illegal to laugh.
What's the most humiliating thing someone has ever caught you doing alone?
Caught you doing alone.
Or it could be with someone.
Okay. So I had a long day of high school that started with an earlier than everyone else's classes day with some workouts. Then I did the whole day. Then after that, we did football practice. And then after football practice, I went to choir practice. And then after choir practice, I went home to eat dinner. And then with my family talked for a little while, maybe about an hour or so. So it was a lot going on that day.
Yeah.
And so when I went to bed, I got set up to jack off, and I fell asleep with lotion in my hand and a towel laying across my stomach. And then when I woke up in the morning, the towel was folded on my nightstand and the covers were up around my shoulders, and I didn't know what had happened. And I went into the kitchen and my mom said, "How did you sleep?"
Oh my God.
So there you go.
Did she find you with your thing
She
out?
had- She's like, you were tuckered out, huh?
Oh my God.
You was tuckered. That was a long day, huh? Yeah. She had to have. I was asleep for whatever she saw, so I hope there was some covers over me, but chances, who knows? It was probably as bad as it could have gotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that's pretty rough.
But yeah, that happened.
Yeah, that happened.
Twice.
Twice?
I wish I was playing.
And it was mom both times?
2 times.
Oh, God.
Yeah, she's like, I just don't understand why it's a towel. Like, tissues, paper towels. Why are you using my good towel?
She's like, I gotta wash this now.
She said, I should make you wash these crispy ass towels. You should be ashamed of yourself. All these towels looking like popcorn.
Lay's potato chips, all crispy.
Right. That happened.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. You just kind of want to like forget about all that.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah. That's definitely a weird one. Like moms, they've seen it all, but it's just the idea of it.
And that was probably her argument. Like, boy, I made whatever that you worried about, I created that.
Yes.
I changed your diaper. Shut your
Yeah.
ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not a pee-pee no more, no mama. Come on now. I'm grown. It's a dick. You can't just be, I need a lock on my door. Not in my house. All right, whatever.
I mean, there are some things that you can come back from in life, but that, I'm not sure you can ever fully recover from. At number 4, Mario Adrian shared a really deep confession about how pain can really change the way you connect with people.
When I was modeling, like there was one girl I was seeing and I was in love with, but the fact that I was traveling so much made it extremely difficult. Like I would travel every 3 months, I go to a different place.
Yeah.
So for sure relationships. Because then one time I did fall in love with a girl in New York, and then she was also modeling, and she had to leave for a job. She's from Argentina, and it broke my heart.
Yeah.
So then after that, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on Beck and Beck and not do any like relationship stuff. So I was basically single. I thought I was gonna be single forever, right? And distance myself from all of that. Besides, like I also like wasn't really into any intimacy stuff. With what we hinted at with the modeling, some sexual harassment happened. So then I kind of like distanced myself from all kind of intimacy. But also, yeah, because you had to travel so much, I had to sacrifice relationships for sure. Yeah, and I was a lonely cowboy. with 8 dudes in a model apartment. And then and then once I stopped modeling, I then moved to LA 5 years ago, and then I met my wife, and then that changed. But
Yeah, it'd be like that. Like I've heard of that. Like with modeling, it's a bit of a single life just because you're just moving around so much.
Very
You can be
hard.
dating other models and they leave, they go back to their hometown, and it's a whole thing. Yeah.
Not even relationships, even friendships, I feel like. Because friendships are also tough, because I had a lot of acquaintances, so many people I meet, but not really there's nobody I called or FaceTime ever. Because there's just that, it's a bit of a surface level industry. I met a lot of cool people, but there's not really that time to really, because you're all leaving. Every person, every model I meet in Korea, they're on a contract, we're on contracts for 2 months. So maybe I only meet them at the end of their contracts, we're like 4 weeks together. So I met so many people, but you gotta become very good at building bonds very quickly, but then also being cool with letting go. Yeah.
And that can get tricky when it comes to love.
Sure.
especially.
Oh, love is even harder.
Yeah.
Friendship is easier maybe, but still then it's hard to have consistency with relationships. Yeah.
That one is tough because it's a clear reminder that sometimes in relationships, you don't just lose comfort in the moment, but actual trust. And now we get to top 3. These confessions are not just memorable, they stay with you. At number 3, Tehran shares a childhood moment where the school staff didn't release him to his dad because they didn't believe that he was related to him. And that kind of thing really affects you when you're growing up.
So growing up, being mixed wasn't as common as it is now. Everyone's mixed now. Like you turn on TV, everyone's mixed. But there was a time where just being light-skinned, you were a DeBarge. Like you were automatically on the Cosby Show. Like you were a superstar just because, right? Well, in the 90s and even early 2000s, being mixed was like a newer thing.
Yeah.
And my mom, who's Black, used to pick me up from school all the time. And my mom, obviously Black woman, no one ever questioned that she was my mom. But one time my father came to pick me up from school, and he is a Persian, Middle Eastern looking man with the Middle Eastern looks, Middle Eastern accent. And he came to pick me up from school, and the faculty did not believe that this person was my father. They had never met him. They had never seen him. It was a mother job. And so my father had never done that. And he was always working at the time. So when he came to pick me up, they would not release me into his custody. And the reason I bring this up is because at that moment, for the first time in my life, I felt what I can only, at the time I couldn't process it, but what I could only express as shame or guilt, or I just felt bad. And I remember at that time, the teachers just being in like a little bit of a argument and holding me back. And I wasn't even able to speak up and be like, no, that's my father. And my father just pushed through, like just gently pushed through and was like, this is my son. And like picked me up and held me in his arms. And I felt so much love in that moment. And I just remember it empowering me and giving me confidence and making me know that I never want to be ashamed or feel guilty about who I am or what I am ever again. And from that moment on, I never questioned their love. I didn't question my own love. I didn't question who I was as a person. I was his son. And he loved me. And I'll never forget that moment, you know?
That's beautiful.
And I'm so thankful that I have such an amazing father and such an amazing mother who were able to put up with all the things that I've done, because I have done. I'm in a bathrobe, like I have done, you know, I am done. So thank you to them. But honestly, that moment in my life gave me a surge of confidence that has lasted me for a lifetime.
You ever get those days where you come home and you're exhausted and starving and you know you should cook something healthy, but it's just not happening? For me, eating well is not a willpower problem. It is a setup problem. And that's why I love Factor. Factor delivers fully prepared meals straight to your door, designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs. So I can hit my nutrition goals without all the planning, grocery runs, and cooking. I had their truffle butter filet mignon for dinner the other night, and honestly, it felt like a restaurant quality meal at home. It's perfect for my routine, especially when I want something high protein and satisfying without putting all the time in the kitchen to cook. Everything is fresh, never frozen, and they have over 100 meals to choose from every week. And they rotate them too, so you're never stuck eating the same meal every week. Plus, it's all made with real ingredients, like proteins, veggies, and healthy fats, and none of the junk like artificial sweeteners and high fructose corn syrup. And the best part, it's ready in just 2 minutes. I use this and you should too. Head to factormeals.com/truthordare50 off and use code truthordare50 off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box. With new subscription only while supplies last until September 27th, 2026. See website for more details. And now let's get back to the show. That's what makes childhood moments so powerful. They happen fast and they echo for years. And now we move on to number 2 with Pheromone, who really opens up about one of the most heartbreaking and intense chapters in her life.
Okay, so I've been like different levels of homeless and varying levels of homeless at different stages of my life pre-Drag Race. But the craziest one was when I lived in a pickup truck with 2 other guys
What?
for like 3 or 4 months, maybe longer. The time just it's hard to like figure out how much time that was because we were just drinking every day to cope with living in a pickup truck.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, since we're living in a pickup truck, we're like drinking all the time to sort of cope with it. And sometimes we get lucky and one of their moms worked for Marriott and we would sometimes be able to get like a really, really, really cheap hotel room sometimes.
Yeah.
But I feel like one of the craziest things that we did in that time period, especially like I have this very faint memory because I was probably very drunk of running into a grocery store barefoot and stealing pizza rolls and then microwaving them at our little hotel we had that night.
Was this in Texas?
Austin.
Oh my God. And so you were dancing like at the time, and then you were somehow able to apply to get onto Drag Race, and you were living, like, how did that all
no.
line
So
up?
the few months of homelessness in Austin came before I even moved to Vegas, which was before I even sent my audition tape.
Okay.
So, yeah, like this was when I was probably like 18 or 19 years old. I didn't do Drag Race till 22.
Okay. So what was going on? So you left Houston, which that's where you're originally from.
Yep, 18.
You were in Austin, and you probably
Doing drag.
You had a little money saved up, maybe, and then something just happened where you just.
My living situation fell through because my lesbian roommate at the time went completely crazy and tried to kill me.
Are you serious?
Yes. And it just so happened we had an extra room at that house, and my friend from Michigan was going to be coming and renting that room from her. And so when this happened, we both got kicked out. And so we were together in his pickup truck, and then one of our other friends' boyfriend dumped him. So then he was kicked out, and so we just all banded together as like 3 little homeless drag queens.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it was an era for sure. It was like 3 months. You know, we were all applying for apartments. We all had money, not a lot, but like we had enough to like eat every day and stuff.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't. It was really just us trying to figure out where the hell we were going to live. And so we were like, whoever gets approved for a place first, we're all just going to pile in.
Yeah.
Until we all get ourselves situated. And so that's kind of how it went down.
So you guys were all sleeping in the back of that pickup truck bed.
And that's where all of our stuff was.
Okay.
We were sometimes just sleeping, sitting up just like this.
Stop.
We didn't have room in the back.
That literally makes my heart break.
Builds character.
I mean, you can say that, but like, okay, you had a friend, like one of your friends, like had a mom that worked for, you said Marriott?
Uh-huh.
So where was she in this situation?
She
Like,
lived in Michigan.
Okay, that was the Michigan friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. So who got out of that situation first and got their first apartment?
The older one of us all.
Okay.
Who was also kind of crazy and abusive, and yeah, it's just weird. time of surrounding myself with toxic people, because my examples of love growing up were toxic, abusive examples. And so I normalized that as like what love is supposed to be. And then it just was a hard cycle to break out as a young person. Yeah, go to therapy, everybody.
Yeah, so then you were able to at least have a shelter, but it was not with the right person. But at least it got it.
We
know, it
were,
bought
we
you
need,
some
you know, it
time.
was what it needed to be for the time. I have no real regrets in my life, and you know, the lessons and the things that I learned from those relationships, from those experiences, really put things into perspective for me. And they really, I mean, those times of struggle are what really put a fire under your ass to sort of like really succeed and to really push towards your dreams and to like really, you know, fight for what you really want in this life and to not ever end up back where you once were, you know?
Yeah.
But you know, it's crazy that like nowadays they say that like 60% of Americans are just one paycheck away, like one bad paycheck or whatever away from being homeless. Like, 'cause there's so many people living like paycheck to paycheck now. It's so scary.
Oh no, it is so scary. Yeah, and it's like there's so much stigma around homelessness, and it's just heartbreaking because once a person falls through the cracks, it's so hard to get out. Because if you want to get a job, like they're looking for an address, like it's so difficult to just get back into society again, even if you are not struggling with like mental health problems. It's purely just a financial situation alone
Correct,
is hard
yeah.
enough as it is.
Especially in today's day, like back in when I was living in the truck, you could get like a full meal from Wendy's with the coins you found in your chair. You know what I mean? Like-
Texas is cheap too. I remember like going to Texas and like living there. I'm like, fast food is like cheaper in this place. It's like cheaper than California. It's crazy out there. But
Like
yeah.
I remember like back then a bag of chips was like 89 cents
Yes.
or 99 cents. And now a bag of chips is like $5.
yes.
Like I could never have survived that here at this stage. Oh, I like heart goes out to everyone out there that's struggling. It's really difficult right now.
Yeah. So what brought you to Vegas? Was it like a job opportunity, or you knew someone out there that was like, hey, Farrah, come out to Vegas and dance? Like, how did that all happen?
I actually touched on this a little bit with my Give It To Me Straight interview with Maddie Morphosis, but essentially I was living with that abusive drag queen that I was in the car with for a while, and she just made it really hard for me to succeed in Austin because she sort of had this, she struggled with like drug and alcohol abuse, right? And she also struggled with me being younger and getting these opportunities that she wasn't getting. And so every time I got booked for something, I felt this like monumental pressure from her to like bring her in on the booking and be like, well, can we also hire this girl? Like, she's really good, she, whatever. And anytime that they wouldn't bring her, she would show up to the gig wasted, pick a fight with someone, get in a bar fight, get me fired. And so, and then, or when I would get home from the gig, she would be wasted and beat me up. So like, it was like, I couldn't, and I was trapped, like I really was. And I just started like venting to the random men that were hitting on me in my Facebook message requests. And some strange, 400-pound man that seemed to have some sympathy for me was like, well, come move on out to Vegas. I'll pay for you to move here and I'll take care of you until you get on your feet. And I was like, okay, but like, you promise it won't be anything romantic? Like, I can't promise anything romantic. Please don't be romantically interested in me. You have to be doing this because you want to help somebody that you believe in, okay? And he was obsessed with me.
Yeah, of course. It's
He had
never
a shrine
for
of
free.
me when I got there. And then it
What?
was another really scary, weird situation that I was intertwined.
Oh my God, Farrah, there was a shrine waiting for you in Vegas when you arrived. That is crazy.
Next to his bed.
Okay, so you walk into the situation, you see the shrine, you see the man, you know you've got like only so much money, but you know this is a bridge. You're gonna walk on it to get to the other side.
He didn't start off scary and weird. He actually was really supportive, and like I would make him like buy like Whole Foods groceries because I was like, well, if you want me to live here, like we have to like have nice, groceries and stuff. Like, you want me to be a star, don't you?
Yeah,
So I need
like
to,
anything for you, baby.
And he kind of did spoil me a little bit. Like, he would give me his credit card to go shopping and stuff sometimes. But then it was always like, you know, a bunch of buddies of mine are going on a trip with their girlfriends. Do you want to come with me on mine? I was like, are you telling them that I'm your girlfriend?
Oh, he most definitely is.
Well, right.
Yeah,
but like I told
yeah.
them, I kept having to be like, you can't do this to yourself because there will never be anything romantic between us. I'm not interested in you in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he would always act so understanding of this until I actually started dating a guy.
Oh my God.
And the next thing I know, he changed the locks and threw my stuff out in the desert, but kept all of my panties and lingerie and like, yeah. And that was when I got the call to be on Drag Race.
What?
With my stuff thrown out in the desert. Yeah.
So your stuff was literally outside. You got the call and they're like, Farrah, you're in. Welcome to the show.
And I'm like, oh my God, my life is falling apart. What am I gonna do? And they're like, you have 15 days to come up with 36 looks for the show. See you in 2 weeks.
Oh my God. I'm literally speechless. So you like collected all your things.
Yeah.
Did you move in with the next guy?
I sort of. So the guy that I was dating was he was a singer on the Las Vegas Strip, and he was living with a fan of his in a tiny spare bedroom. So I moved into that tiny spare bedroom with him, and I had to like sort of put all of my stuff in different friends I knew's garages because there wasn't room for all of my things. So that's kind of how I had to like navigate getting ready for Drag Race, like living in a place that didn't really feel like home. It felt homeless adjacent.
Yes.
Like I felt homeless adjacent because
Yes.
I didn't have anything of my own. I had a shelter, but like I felt very alone in the world in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
I'm living with this guy I've been dating for a month
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in a house that isn't even his, that he doesn't even pay anything towards.
Mm-hmm.
With a random lady I just met that owns the house. My drag and all my belongings are all over the city of Las Vegas. So, yeah, I had to like beg, borrow, steal. I had a drag mother. I call her drag mother because she would serve that. She took that role on when I moved to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
She worked at the same club I got a job at, and she really helped get that package together for season 9. And yeah, it was a lot. It was one of the most difficult things I've ever done, trying to get that package together in 15 days, broke as like that.
Yeah. But you knew you had something that if you could get it together, you knew you were going into something that would completely change your life. Where
Right.
You would never have
I
to
almost
be-
said no because I was like, there's just no way I can
Oh
do this.
my
And then I was like, you know
God.
what, bitch? You're going to do this. And if you bomb, you bomb. But at
Mhm.
least you tried.
If you're getting a tax refund this year, here's one smart thing you can do with a small part of it. Start building credit. There was a time where I didn't fully understand credit, and honestly, it caught me off guard. And when that happens, you can run into missed payments, inconsistent income, and honestly, things can snowball after that. And once you start paying attention, you quickly realize how much it affects everything. Apartments, getting a car, opportunities. That's why I look for something that's simple and manageable, and I found Kikoff. And what stood out is how easy it is for me. I mean, there's no credit checks, hidden fees, or interest. I signed up in minutes, set up autopay, and it quickly became a part of my routine. With Kikoff, you build credit making small, on-time payments that strengthen your payment history and diversify your credit mix. And because the payments are low, it's actually sustainable. Users with credit under 600 grow an average of 86 points just by paying on time. Plus, you can build credit with rent reporting, so payments that you're already making can start working in your favor. Start building credit with Kikoff today and get your first month for as little as $1. That's getkikoff.com/dare. That's 80% off when you go to getkikoff.com/dare. Must sign up via getkikoff.com/dare to activate offer. Offer applies to new Kikoff customers' first month only. Subject to approval. Offer subject to change. New car financing savings based on 2025 Chevrolet Silverado MSRP with $10,000 down payment and 5-year financing for subprime borrowers versus those over 600. Nationwide APR average for new cars. Actual savings and financing factors may vary. Source, Experian, April 2025. Average first-year credit score impact of 86 plus points between August 2024 and August 2025 for Kikoff credit account users who started with a score below 600, who paid on time, and who had no delinquencies or collections added to their credit profile during the period. Late payments may negatively impact your credit score. Individual results may vary. Now, let's get back to the show. That one was heavy and really just blew me away. I mean, what a journey. And she survived that. And that brings us to our number one truth confession with the one and only David Desmalchin. This one rises above the others, not just because it's shocking and vulnerable, but because it's life and death. It is survival. It is perspective. Here is David Desmalchin with the number one truth confession on Celebrity Truth or Dare.
Life is so fragile, and sometimes not only physically, but like mentally, spiritually, I shudder sometimes to think of like how close I came to just like losing it. You know, I think about almost on a daily, probably not almost, on a daily basis, when I reflect on things that I'm grateful for. I often think about my sobriety, and I think about 24 years ago, moment where I tried to take my own life because I was so lost in the hopelessness and despair of both addiction and depression, and just really dark place. And I by a miracle of God and science and recovery and support and effort and luck, all of the above, I was able to get out from underneath that and then learn how to live my life without dependence on drugs and alcohol. And what was interesting in the last 23 years, I've learned how voraciously dependent I can be upon things outside of drugs and alcohol, including other people, the approval of others. As an actor, very dangerous and very scary. And when I go to prepare for character and I think about, the emotional spectrum of the way I react to things that may scare my character or my character, one of the very first things I really dig into is what is this character's life raft look like? What does this character's dependencies look like? We often buoy ourselves. We create a life raft oftentimes with work, food, getting approval, validation from others. Sometimes we make other people our life rafts. Sometimes we make, for me, I often make work my life raft. And so I think about that in the way I build a character. And it's the foundation of, because I say this a lot in my life to like my kids or to people that I'm talking to about, because I'm like, the river just goes where it's going to go. So in a story, in a film, the river goes crazy places, and the life raft that each of the characters is kind of created for themselves is the same as the ones we do in our real lives. And I think that acknowledgement of that experience that I had and where I am today deeply influences the way I think about building a character. And I have a great luxury in being an actor and someone who makes believe for a living, because in the world of fantasy and make-believe and imagination, I can safely go past the points of no return. Characters that actually do commit murder or do something crazy or go to the extremes. I think that's a big one. And I'm someone that advocates strongly for doing your therapy with a therapist. Don't do your therapy on set. Don't bring your mental or emotional stuff that needs to be worked on. It's not the space for that. But that doesn't mean you don't bring your entire book. We each are a book. So you bring your whole book to work with you, and it affects the way that you present all these manufactured emotional states of being to try and convince an audience that you're authentically experiencing something.
Yeah, so I'm just so curious. So you did a while back Animals, right?
Yes.
And so that was you essentially telling the story,
Playing
written,
a junkie,
playing a junkie.
Mhm.
So how do you go through that as an actor and not trigger yourself with all those like memories? Like how do you
I
protect
think
yourself?
doing the therapy in therapy
Okay.
and not looking at the experience, because I've survived several suicide attempts in my life, and I've played characters who attempt to commit suicide in on stage. I did it once, and on film I've done it. And if I hadn't been in the care and work of great therapy and program and support, I think it probably would have been very dangerous for me. So what is nice for me is if I do, it's a few times, very few times it's happened where I've been on set or I've been on stage, and what happens with your body when you're pretending that something's really happening became so overwhelming that my brain believed it was really happening for just a split second, but it felt unsafe. It happened to me once in the film Prisoners. My character commits suicide on screen, and we were doing a very physically demanding, tricky shot, and I remember it just, this flood of stuff kind of overcame my body and my mind, and I felt lost for just a split second. And luckily, I was surrounded by people who cared about me and loved me, and it took just a few seconds to like catch breath, get present, and then, but I have all these tools and all these wonderful gifts that I've been given through the benefit of support group and therapy and program and all these things that like can help. Because also I go, well, I've never kidnapped anybody in real life. I've never murdered somebody in real life. I've never flown a plane in real life. There's so many things I've done in movies that I've never shot fireballs out of my fingers like I did on The Flash or whatever. It's like, there's a ton of shit that I've never done in real life that I'm pretending to do in film. So if ever it feels like, oh, I'm getting really carried away, I'm like, no, I know what I'm doing here. Yeah.
I think it's incredible when it comes to your journey of sobriety and how long it's been. You said 23 years?
23 years. May the 10th of 2002 was the last time I used drugs. And I've been, that's been a big part of my life. Now, something interesting is the journey just begins. Like sometimes putting down the drugs and the alcohol is not the finish line. There is no finish line, by the way. Anybody who's on their mental health journey, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, it's so fucking frustrating because I had this breakthrough, or I got clean finally, or I finally got diagnosed with my disorder, whatever those things are. And then you're like, but why does life still so goddamn hard? It will always be. That's okay. Just keep getting the tools that you can and keep surrounding yourself with the people, and you're gonna keep making mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. I still get hurt. I still hurt people. I still do things that are totally not in line with whatever it is, this ideal version of myself that I want to be, just like all humans do. But I do feel, I'm proud of the fact that I've made it this. I wouldn't be the dad that I am. I wouldn't be the actor that I am. I wouldn't be sitting here with you if drugs and alcohol were part of my life equation right now. I know that unquestionably, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to sobriety, from what I've heard, when you find your true purpose and your calling, I think drugs and alcohol can be this thing where that becomes your life for so long that you forget how to live when you escape that. And then when you find something else to kind of keep you busy and keep you inspired and keep you getting up every day to just do something, and when you're writing and acting and being a dad, like that gives you zest for life and a reason to keep going too.
I love storytelling. I love dadding. I love storytelling. I love travel. I love my friends. I love my life. But yeah, storytelling to me is such an incredible craft, because when you nail it, if you really do a really good job, people that watch or read it, maybe for a second they feel like somebody else gets it. And then you feel a little less alone in the world, which is the biggest challenge, because this world feels very isolating sometimes.
Wow. And that's why the truth matters. I mean, hey, we love having fun on this show. We like to play games and laugh and do some unhinged stuff. But the truth has a way of just cutting through all the noise and letting those Inner moments really shine that we don't get to share all the time. And that is what makes these moments unforgettable. So in the comments, let me know which moments stayed with you, which moments shocked you, and which moments from the show you think should have made it on this countdown. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share with someone who enjoys a little chaos, a little honesty, and a whole lot of tea. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.